It's all right. Let's go see. And we are live. Hello and welcome to Project Vayner episode 40. If you are new to this channel, this is my weekly vlog, my documentation of my journey as a content creator towards getting a job at Vayner Media in New York City. So once a month, I'm doing live episodes. So this is my third live episode. And I invite a new guest every time. And this time it's a guest from Sweden. First time I have a Swedish guest. So, and this guy is a freelancing filmmaker and photographer. He has done over 200 videos and worked internationally. So without further ado, from Västerås, welcome to the vlog, Johan Nyström.
Thank you so much.
So, how are you today?
I'm doing fine. It's been quite a good day. For like 4 weeks now, but it's starting to fade out a little bit. But I still needed to see what it was. So I might see a doctor in a couple of days now. But other than that, the sun has been up. I've been sending some emails. I've been soaking the sun, and yeah, I'm loving it here in Spain. That's good.
Right. I have just a little problem because I'm hearing the voice from both the call and from the live. So I'm just trying to figure out how I can turn off one of them so I can hear what you're saying.
Yeah, sure. There's always something when it comes to technology, isn't it?
Right. Now I think I got it to work.
Should I try to say something?
Right. Yeah, now it's working. I just muted the audio on the live, so I don't hear it.
All right.
If someone watching can just comment in the live chat if there is sound, just to make sure I didn't turn anything off. That would be great. All these technical issues. Hopefully
it's like that.
Good. Okay, so we can move on.
Awkward silence.
Yeah. Okay, so Johan, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you come from, what you work with, and what you do? Yeah, who are you?
Yeah, you usually start. I'm thinking of as soon as you're asking that question, I'm thinking of like when you're watching the news and you're interviewing someone and it says the name and then it says the age, and I've always wondered like, what the hell? Why do you need to know how old they are? Why can't you come up with something more fun? But yeah, I'm from I'm living in Västerås. Not now at the moment though. I'm in Spain, but I'm born and raised in Nyköping, and I moved to Västerås about 6 years ago. And before that, I worked at the university as a project manager for a business incubator. So I was taking care of students when they had like different ideas. They could just come to me and talk about their business idea, and I tried to see like in the early phase what they could do and how they could not scale the business, but just look at it in an early stage. And then we had different events for for the students, and so they could learn more about entrepreneurship. And
interesting.
during yeah, and I was loving that job. It was fantastic. I was doing it for 1 year and 8 months, and I think it could have been like 5 years. But the thing is that we changed a lot of stuff at the university, which meant that we got a new head of sheep basically, and it didn't work out that well because we wanted so much. We wanted to be innovative and try to come up with different ideas and new solutions, but they were not playing the same game. So I quit that job, and just before I quit that, I came in contact with video and photo, basically through a friend, and a friend that I made during that time, because we wanted a video for our incubator showing like, all right, what do we do? How do we do this to reach out to more students? And he was just a fantastic guy, and we connected on so many levels. So I invited him home to me and just asked him a lot about photography and basically video. This video was my primarily interest. So I invited him home to me. I bought him some dinner, and we just talked. And then he gave some advices on what I should buy as a starting kit, and what I should think about, and when it comes to exposure, when it comes to putting colors and grading the video. So I started out quite small, and then I think it's based why I said that I was a project manager at the university there was because that gave me such a wide network, super wide network of people in different areas, and I had all those things from that time, all that knowledge made me feel like maybe I could do something myself. So I started my business during the period of while I was working there, and then when I quit, I used those 3 months that I had left to build up my business. But then as soon as I stopped working there, I got the opportunity to go to Malta in the middle of usually when I think about Malta, it's like Eurovision Song Contest. That was the first thing I was thinking about. I was like, what kind of place is that? But that was an amazing place, and I was there for 4 months. I got a business mentor, and during that time they were working a little bit with video, but the main thing was branding companies in different ways. So I got the chance to be there for 4 months developing my business. So when I came back from that trip, I already knew basically like, all right, this is my sales strategy, this is my economy, and this is how we're going to build it up. This is how we're going to reach out to clients. This is everything. My website was already finished, and I tried to build up some stuff to show people.
Right. So when was this? When you started your own?
Back in between 2014 and 2015. So basically right there, 1st of January 2000, maybe 14 it was. It might have been 14. So it's 5 years now, 5 years and 2 months that I've done this.
Right. How long did it take for you to actually make enough money to have it as a job?
Yeah, that's I don't know if I'm like fortunate in a way, but since I had that network, it wasn't that hard, because in some way people knew what I was doing, and when I just told people like, all right, I've quit my job, I'm gonna go for a video production now. Immediately those guys were trying to help me try to look for jobs in different ways, trying to reach out to companies and say like, hey, Johan is doing this, or if they were working at a certain place, maybe they themselves wanted a video. So I've always been a fan myself of trying to have. I'm not working to earn a lot of money. That has never been important. So my thing is to free time. That is super important to me.
Yeah.
And that was quite crazy because the first year I could actually have 4 weeks of vacation, as normal working people back home in Sweden would have during a year. So I could actually have that the first year, which was
Awesome.
yeah, I don't know. I think I knew how to like put price on my video and try to yeah. I've been good at sales, so I've done sales for about like 6 years before I even started that project manager job as well. So I think I have a lot in my background that has helped me. So I managed to. It didn't take a long time. I was doing it from the start.
I think that's an important point there, that you worked with, that you had like a background in sales, because I think that a lot of people working both with video and with other stuff, they underestimate the importance of actually selling what they are doing. So
yeah.
I've watched some video of someone saying like it's not the best video editors that are the biggest YouTubers, but it's the people that are best at showing the world what they do and selling what they are doing. So yes, I think that's really important, and it's also, I'm curious about that because it's hard to set price for stuff, and I know that can change over the years also. So like how do you go with when you set price on stuff? Is it like what's your process when going through that, when you don't have like the experience to look back at things that you have done before?
Yeah, that's good question. And it feels like it doesn't matter who I talk to, even if you've done this for like 50 years. Maybe that was too much. I mean, even if you've been your own for like 18 years, we'll say 18 instead, but it doesn't matter how long you've done it. It seems like every time there's a new assignment or a new job that you're gonna do, it feels like you always come on. It always comes out of like talking about the price. Like, shit, how much should I do? How much should I? Is this too much? Is this too low? And I guess in one way, I mean, of course you're thinking so much about that because there are so many other people around you doing sort of the same thing. So of course you want to have like sort of that like balance point that, all right, maybe this is not too high, maybe it's not too low, but it still motivates me. And I think that's one of my things when I calculate. I mean, I know I have these costs and I need to make this much money a month to cover these costs. So then I just put up to myself like a little bit of how much do I feel like I want to work this month as well. So that means that maybe I have to do 4 small projects, or I have to do 1 or 2 big projects to be able to cover these costs.
Right.
And I think as a start, what I did was that I talked to a lot of people, and I tried to see like, all right, if there was another filmmaker or another photographer, I would ask them like, all right, how much would you charge for this? And I have gotten the same questions since I started. If there are any other people that ask me, I'm quite open with it. So I guess it's good to just talk to people as much as possible, because it helps out a lot. I don't know if that was the answer of your question. I'm usually just going back and forth in different ways.
Yeah, but I think it's a good advice to ask other people, because especially when you're starting out, after you've done it for a while, you can kind of know where the limit goes, when the price is too high and when it's too low. But when you're just starting out, it's so hard to set a price on stuff. and also maybe you put a little lower price in the beginning just to prove yourself and to build your portfolio. So, but just knowing where to start, I think it's good to ask other people.
Of course, but it can also come down to like putting in a lower price. Of course, that can be like perfect in the beginning because you want to build your portfolio. But then also, it goes like I can definitely like put a lower price if I feel like I'm motivated, and that doesn't mean that I'm motivated because I get enough paid. It can be the connection and the collaboration with the client. And because I have a business mentor, and he just asked me, "Who are your loyal clients?" And I was like, "All right, what do you mean by that?" I sort of understand what you mean, but he said, "Who do you want to put 80% a day on? Like, who would you like to talk to? Who would you like to hang out with? Who would you like to do more projects with?" And when I came down to writing down those loyal clients, it mainly came down to like soft features. It was not like the hard drive; it was the software, because I really enjoy like genuine people, companies. I like when you can be open and transparent. I like when you can, talk about your personal life as well. So sometimes when I go into a first meeting with a client, which is also one of my favorite things when it comes to the process of an idea to find a product, is the first meeting, because then I have certain ways on how to convey or convert the client on choosing me. But what did I say? I lost myself. What did I say before that?
You started with saying that one thing that I liked how you put it, that you value the software more than the hardware, like the soft values and people that you want to work with.
Let's see. All right. So they were having those. God, I'm lost. I lost the question. I'm sorry. Moving on, but it was a little bit about the price. So the feeling of that, if you feel that they have those things that you're looking for when it comes to being a loyal client, then it can feel so much easier on like, all right, I'll put a better price for you here because I really, really like our collaboration so far, and it feels great. That's not a problem for me. Of course, it could be hard because someone can stab you in the back afterwards. So I try to believe that people are good, and more good than bad, of course. It goes to the whole looking at the whole world. But then, of course, if you feel like you have that connection, then you can start small, and then you can talk about, all right, I'm hoping that this can result in making more stuff ahead.
Yeah, I was about to ask you about that. If you can have different prices for different customers, even if it's the same job. But I guess it's yes on that answer.
Yes, because it can just feel like if I don't really connect with a person, it just feels like, all right, we just want to do this. You're one among many others, or it doesn't feel. I want to make the client feel special, and if I don't get that back, then it just feels like there's something that just feels like, all right, now, well, then I'm just gonna take my ordinary price here, because you can sense that. You can sense that when you talk to someone.
Yeah, I can feel that at work as well. Like some people where I connect good with the person, and I feel like there's like almost a friendship connection, that it's easier to come up with like creative ideas, because a lot of times you're thinking the same way, and that person or client is like giving you space to be creative and to do it the way you want to do it. So like feeling that trust, I think can make the job better also.
Absolutely. And just the part of just like you said, like the friendship feeling, you get that quite easily if you're gonna get along. And I use, because sometimes I might talk to a client and they're saying like, all right, if we do this video, you will get this much paid, but we're hoping that this business is gonna go better, and then you can get that much paid afterwards. Then of course I'm thinking like, well, hopefully that can work out, but I don't have any information basically except from your website and the talk we're just having right now. So you have to give me some sort of figures, like, all right, how much are you going to work on this? Are you doing this full time? Where do you want to be in like 5 years? Those kind of classic questions. But it's almost like going to listening to Shark Tank or something like that. You want to know more about what's your knowledge, how are you going to put this out. Sort of like if I'm making a video, one of the main questions is how, if I give you the video in your hand, God, I'm doing this so much. If I give this to you, but if you have the video in your hand, like, how are you going to use it? Because there's so many people so many companies, like in the beginning when I was starting, it was like I was doing a video and then I gave it to them, but they maybe posted it on Facebook and it was 400 people seeing it, and 385 of those were their own friends. So it has been so much more important to understand that, let's say that you put 4,000 euros in a video, maybe you need to put like 2,000 to promote it as well. Don't forget that. Otherwise, nothing is going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a really important part of when you're working with video and creating content online, especially now when there are so many people doing it and sharing stuff. So you need to put those hours in to learn the best way of sharing what you're doing, because there's no point in putting a lot of money into making a video that no one will watch.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to say as well, like, all right, I'm sitting here now saying like, all right, if you have the video in your hand, what are you gonna do? And I mean, I'm not perfect in any way, so usually I remember all the steps that I need to take. But sometimes, of course, you forget, and you forget some stuff when you have like a first or second or a third meeting. You might forget those things, and then you come into like, all right, you come into the budget, and then you agree on a certain price. But after that, I might have forgotten some stuff, which in one way suck, because it just feels like you want to do the best when it comes to the client. But when I'm working myself as well, it could be a little bit hard sometimes, because I might have like 5 or 10 different projects at the same time. So you were saying that we might talk a little bit about workflow today, and I'm probably super good when it comes to project management in different ways, but keeping control of all projects could be something that I'm lacking on from time to time. So if you want to ask me something about that.
I'm really curious about the workflow, because always people have so different workflows. So it's always fun to hear how other people are doing it. I'm just gonna sneak a question in before that. something that I saw in the live chat. Jonathan is asking, what type of video shooting did you start with?
Good question. I think, God, I have to think. And I'm not doing this because it sounds like I've done this for ages. I haven't, but I started with, yeah, that's pretty funny. I made a wedding video now a couple of months ago, and the wedding video I did before that was actually one of my first, and so that was a gift to my friend who was getting married. So I went to Finland and filmed his wedding.
All right.
So that was the first one. And then I filmed my friend, the guy that I was telling you about, that I invited for dinner. And then he told me about, the filmmaker who was going to do a video for us. So I was doing a video with him when he was on his skateboard. And I just wanted to, that's something I really want to say. I'm watching, not tons, I'm watching a lot of reference videos. So stuff that I like, for example, on Vimeo, I just go through that. If you go onto my Vimeo channel and then you go to my profile and press like, that's where you can see like the videos I like, and that kind of summarizes where I want to go. This is the feeling I want to and show other people. So when doing that video for him, I just looked at a couple of videos. That's what I always do when I try to come up with a video for a client. I give them references, and I'm also saying like, this is not my video, but we can go. It's gonna, this is the way we could. This is the feeling of it. This is the tonality, sort of, and then the client is usually like, we love that. And I'm usually quite right when it comes to those things. Sometimes it can be a little bit off, but then we adjust that and try to come up with some stuff. But wedding video, I was doing video for my friend there, and then I was doing a promotion video for a comedy club that is in Västerås, called Västerås Comedy Club. So I made that one, and then I was shooting me and my friend, and it sounds like about a hobby project. I'm thinking of what I got paid for. I was doing some behind the scenes actually when I was in Malta, and that was a big production for CBS. So they asked me to go there and shoot some behind the scenes, and I could actually charge something for that. It wasn't much, but it was definitely motivating to go there and big production in real life. And that's actually when I also felt like doing a big production is not my thing. I really felt that when I was there. And the reason for that was that it just felt like the cameraman, he knew exactly like, all right, this is the movement I'm going to make. Because it's here, it's in the script, it's in the shooting list. All right, this is how it's going to be shot. We already know that. So then I just felt like there's a lot of creativity here. I really like to, let's say that we would shoot something in this restaurant in this area where I'm at right now. And then if we know what's going to be shot, I can come here and I can see it in front of me. Like, all right, this could be a good angle. This could be a great angle. But I don't need to put it down and make storyboard was the word I was looking for. I don't need storyboards, and I haven't done a single storyboard since I started. And I understand that if you have someone that is doing the storyboard, if you have someone that is doing the music, if you have someone that is grading the video, if someone edits it, if someone's shooting it, it's going to be so much better. And that's usually the case. And I'm not doing everything myself. So I definitely outsource, but it helps out to, or I really like to just have a setting, and this is what's going to happen here. But I can come up with that when we're here. So I don't know, was it Daniel? I don't don't know if that was a good answer, but I think it's more hobby projects from the beginning. But I can't really actually recall what I was doing that got me started. Some minor projects for businesses, I think, where you were like, interviewing someone saying something like this is what you're doing. So minor stuff like that, or event videos. I was doing event videos, like do a recap of the evening. Those.
Right. So I'm gonna ask you about the workflow. There's so many things I want to ask you, and I don't want you to. I don't want to have you here like for a couple of hours because you maybe have other things to do as well. So
I'm not in a rush at all. I can be here at 12.
Great. So, like, how is your workflow right now, and what have you like learned from the years of filming?
That's a big question. Can you just say like, what is workflow for you? I'm thinking about like, all right, these programs, these applications, you could toggle time and blah blah blah.
Yeah. So okay. So let's say the editing workflow, like when you plug the SD card into the computer, or if you're using a cable, like from there to the export, like what are the steps that you take in which order?
Yeah. All right. So first, since my memory is, or all the people's memory is super fresh when you've just done something. It feels like every time I've filmed something, I want to just cut out the best pieces. That's the first thing I do. So I go through all clips, and then I just know in my head, like, all right, here's this sequence, and 9 out of 10 times, the last clip is the best. So I just go to that straight away, try to save time. So just go to that one, scroll through, just get that single piece out, and I just put it on the timeline, like from left to right. Just put out everything. So there we have it, boom. And usually, I mean, you haven't filmed everything, so it's gonna be in the same sequence. It's different, but that's the first thing I do. And then, I mean, music is something that I quite early put in there, or even before we shoot, I need to know sort of, all right, this is the vibe, feel in this video. So we're gonna do slow motion. We're gonna go normal speed for this. It can be a mix. So that's what these reference videos are helping me out with. By but put it out there, and then there's a voiceover. I really want to just put it up there, and then the voiceover is going to be there, and I really have to find the music. Music has to work with the voiceover. But if I don't have a voiceover, then I just put in the music, just get the vibe out of it, and then it depends on the video, but that's what I usually do. And then I just try to, I mean, all the clips are gonna end up in blue color. So then sometimes I don't care about it. If there's an event video, it's fine. But if there's like an interview setup, together with some B-roll material, then I just highlight those clips. Like, all right, this is gonna be yellow, so I know that these things are yellow. But I'm working in Adobe Premiere, and there are so many people that have told me, like, all right, sure, you could work there, but you should go over to Result. And that is something that I haven't done yet, which I think would be definitely in favor for me, because I would love to just get much better at when it comes to color correction and grading, because that's something that I should have understand. I'm getting better at it, and looks quite alright. I think it can be much better. Because I don't usually do color correction and grading from start. I use some LUTs called look table. So basically puts it's made for your kind of camera. So I've downloaded some stuff that works with my Sony A7S too. So if I put those on, it's quite all right from the start, but then I can adjust those a little bit. But by using them, I'm basically just destroying the video instead of just doing it from the start. But when working like this as well, when you have a lot of projects, my stuff needs to go a little bit faster. I can't put like 2.5 weeks of editing, which I would love to do, but sometimes that's not possible because I need to just put it out there. And if the budget was there, then I can't put up 2.5 weeks. But I would love to do it, because then it could be fantastic. So I don't know. That's my. When it comes to export, it's I have those. I have all those clips there, and then I try to. I don't know what's going through my head. I just get about it. I wanna something that is super important. I think is to. It's so much more dynamic to go from like shooting a close-up shot, and instead of going from a close-up shot to another close-up shot to a third close-up shot. That, for me, which I've done so many times before, is super simple. That is really simple to do in that way. But if you try to go from a close-up to a medium or half shot, and then you go from that one maybe to close-up again, and then you go out to a wide one, and you come down to a half-body one. I'm saying so many stuff, but I'm gonna say that too. When it comes to technology and all those kind of things, I'm not great at it. And so all these things, I can film, but I don't know much about technology and words. But just mixing things is super important. So that's what I'm thinking of always having in the back of my head. So if I am at the location setting, then I always try to like, all right, if I come into this wide shot, then we need to go to a closer one there, but then we can come back to another one, like, and then we might go wide again, then we go close, and then we go close again, and then come out again. So it's that is something that I've when I've been looking to a lot of reference videos there as well, which makes it so much more dynamic, and it feels so much better. But there are many filmmakers they don't want to go for the wide shots because they are also the hardest. They're also the hardest to edit afterwards. Try to get the. I mean, composition is fine, but when it comes to exposure, when it comes to just putting the color and the grade to it, it's usually tough, much more tough to make those clips.
I think it's.
God, I'm talking so much, man.
No, but it's good advice with the variation of the clips. I think it's something that you can implement on a lot of videos that you do. I saw a video where they were talking about like 5 different clips. It was like a close-up, a medium shot, and like a landscape shot, and I think point of view and an action shot. I think that's the 5. Like getting all those, then you get like the variation, and you tell the story better than just having the same kind of shot or just switching between 2 different shots. So that's something I'm trying to think about a lot when shooting. Like, what kind of shot have I missed right now? How can I make this? How can I tell a better story by adding one kind of shot that I haven't added yet?
Yeah, definitely. But it makes such. I have hated wide shots before because I think they're super hard, and it usually doesn't end up quite well. But now I just love wide shots. if you go on to YouTube and just go to Jay-Z and Beyonce, Ape Shit music video, for example, I mean, there are so many. If you just look at that one, I mean, the wide shots in there, it just looks awesome, fantastic. And I watched it yesterday, and I was like, hello.
Yeah. I was thinking about when we started talking about workflow, like where in the process do you add the color correction and the color grade? Is it in the beginning or just before you're exporting?
Yeah, before exporting. Not exactly after the exporting, but when I know that the cut is there, like this is how it's gonna be. And how do I know that? Just send it up to the client. So I've sent it to them one time, and then they can come up with feedback that they can collect together, and then send it to me. And then I cut it one more time. And usually the first time I cut it, it's about like 85 to 90% correct.
Right.
And that's something that is one of my strengths. It's hard. But I think that I know we've talked about and we've gone through everything. It just feels like every time I send the first draft, it's about up here, extremely close to a final product. So often there are not a lot of changes. Sometimes there are, but often it's not. So after I know that, all right, this is going to be cut, the music is there, then at the same time I'm doing the color correction and grading, I send it to, for example, the voice for instance, to be mastered, and then at the same time I might get that back, then stuff is
right.
And I also put like the look of the video on maybe the first 3 or 4 clips, or some clips in the middle, or at the end, and then I just add that to the client, like when I send the drafts. All right, this is the video is gonna look in the end. How do you like that? Does it feel like it's your kind of style? Because that's what I'm thinking. And the style is usually quite tough. It's tough to, like, look at this pizzeria here, for example. You can't see much of it now, but I would shoot a video for this pizzeria. Then it just feels like, all right, what should I go on when trying to put the colors to this pizzeria? Like on the video, what kind of feel, what kind of look? And so maybe I just have to go on, like, all right, how does the menu look like? How does the website look like? All right, is it cold? Is it warm? Is it, maybe try to find some reference there. But that is something that is quite tough. That could be tough, actually. Yeah. So
that's interesting. So trying to like find the feeling first and then color grade after that, instead of like having just a lot that you put on every video that you do.
I usually use a lot, and then I try to adjust that a little bit when it's faster. When I need to do some fast, but I use a lot, which is a little bit like sheeting, but still, I mean, it's all about the end result. If the client really likes it, why not go with it?
Yeah.
And if there's a project where you feel like, all right, I'm gonna put all of my effort into this one because this is a nice portfolio thing. And myself, I just have this project. Then you might put all those extra hours as well, which you might not get paid, but you really want to do because you want to put it on your portfolio, your website.
It's interesting to hear how people look at that, because I've heard it both ways. Like, for example, someone said that when someone wants you to make a video, they have probably seen the stuff that you have done before and have some kind of expectation of how it's going to look. So that was like an argument for having the same kind of color grade or the same kind of style. So I think it's a balance there to like know your style, but also know what's the best style for the situation and for the video.
Absolutely. That that is something. Like I said, it can be tough because let's say that I'm shooting, let's say that I would shoot a promo video for a yacht company in Marbella, like going with the boats and stuff like that. And maybe you need to go like exposure, almost a highlight could almost, be blown out because you want it to look, you want it to look super clean, super fresh. And sometimes you might not have to do that. So it definitely depends on where you are and what the company, what the company. It's always nice to try to get the skin tones correct. Try to get the skin tones correct, which I also struggle with. It can be really tough. You'll usually end up being a little bit more yellowish because then it might have been tough to just adjust that secondary color correction. Just try to get that down a little bit, which might be tough with a lot sometimes as well. So, but it also looks different on different screens. But what I've heard is that I usually export it my video and then I send it through AirDrop to my phone and look at it there because those screens are more versatile. Do you say versatile? Yeah, they're more like overall general look. How do you say? Yeah, it's the midpoint of a normal average screen. So then I just look at it there, and if I feel like, all right, this is good exposure, then it's fine. Maybe it's a bit too dark because I was sitting editing when the sun was out. Of course, you have to do that at any time because that's just terrible. But it might be hard sometimes when the light comes from different sources and you really need to be somewhere inside where light can't do that much because then it's just gonna see things much more clear how it's actually gonna look. So that's why actually my van is perfect sitting because it gets super dark in there. Even if it's during the day, you can only see through the glass about 5%, which makes it dark inside. But I can see everything outside, so it helps us. We're like a small little grading room.
Yeah, it's something that a lot of people that's not working with filmmaking, they might not know how the eyes actually are adapting to the light around you. So like sometimes or a lot of times you prefer sitting in a dark room rather than sitting in a very light room. And also if you're searching for like desk setup on Instagram and you see all these like video editing setups, a lot of times you see like the light behind the screen, and I think a lot of people just think that, oh, that's cool to have, but it's actually a function behind it, because when lighting up the wall behind the screen, it helps the eye to like find the right lighting or white balance. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but it helps the eye to adjust, because otherwise it will be so dark around, so it would like lighten up everything a little bit more. So it's actually like a function to find to get the colors to act how they are actually looking.
Exactly. Yeah, that's good. And there's another tip that got from.
It was good that you say also to like send it to the phone and look at it there, just to like double check it.
Yeah. No, but also another tip which is really hard, but I'm trying to work with it because I'm not done yet. I have a lot to learn, and but But the thing one said to me, that's working for a company called ProLunch in Västerås. So it's one of the bigger companies, and they're competing against many others about doing video, high-end videos, super good. And I've freelanced with them, and there's a guy there, his name is also Johan, and he just said a quick tip to me is that I was usually looking at video when I was grading, trying to come up with like the look of it. Then it was a little bit like, don't look at video, look at the parameters, look at the RGB scope, RGB curves, look at the scope, look at those kind of things, look at the technical stuff. And that is quite, that's more accurate than what your eye is going to see. That's much more accurate. So I understand that. Like I also said there, technology and all those stuff, it's almost like I don't have the patience to just go in there and just those. So it's like perfect. More like I'm more visual guy, and I think I just have much more to just look at. Right, this is what it is, and I go back to it after a while, and to see if this still feels good, or this was shit.
It's a lot of things to learn there, but it's definitely worth the time to learn all the scopes and RGB parade and the curves and everything, because as you said, screens can be different, and that data is giving you a more accurate description of how it's actually looking. I had another screen before, and after every color grade, it always looked a little bit green when I exported it, and I was like, "But it's perfect on the screen." But it's the same problem. I didn't look at all those stuff.
No, but that is it's really hard. Yeah, it is really hard. If you master that, I would say that. God, I think that was one of the things I fell in love with in the beginning. That it was one of the things, except from slow motion. I never thought slow motion, but it's cool to go away from that as well. And thank you, Mons, my friend, who told me like you're doing everything in slow motion. To get away from how I've done. It's good. But it feels more professional to do that. It's just so simple to do slow motion. But I lost it again. What was the same for that?
We were talking about color correction and color grade, and it's fun to learn because there is so much to learn, and it's such a huge part of video editing, I think.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, and what the thing I just fell in love with, except for the motion, was the color grading. Because Daniel, that I told you about, that taught me film from the beginning. When I looked at his video, I was like, "Where is this?" And I was thinking like maybe it's California in some way. He was like, "No, it's Västerås from here." I was like, "Are you kidding me? It looks amazing. How the hell did you make it look so good?" So color grading is or color grading, grading. It's fantastic. If you master that, you can definitely put another feeling to the video. Absolutely.
We have another great question from the chat. Jonathan is asking, how do you the time limit or the length of a video?
How I determine that?
Yeah, so do you like decide before, or is it just ending up like you just see how it goes?
Well, first of all, it's usually when a client asks me like, "All right, how much is the most common thing is like in the beginning when I was starting, it was like, "All right, how much how much could a 2-minute video cost? And that's like, well, I can't come up with something funny now, but it's basically just really hard to say because there are so many different parameters. And you want drone shots, you want voiceover, and what do you need in the video? There are so many things, and how many days do you want to shoot? I mean, it's impossible to ask that question, but of course, it's not weird because they don't know our field. The same as if I would go to a carpenter asking something. I mean, I don't know that field either. So, the time of the video, it comes down to the script. Even if you're not going to have a script or a voice or in a video, it's important to just put down on a piece of paper or post-it notes. And like that. That's what I usually have when I do a workshop and when you try to come up with an idea. So put down what you want to say. Like, what do you really want to say? And why do you want to say it? And that's a different thing, though. But like, what do you want to say is how you're gonna convince or your customer to actually take the next step. But what do you want to say? So if you put that down, like then you have the script. So the script might be in the beginning, it might be 3 minutes. And then it's like, all right, cut it down, cut it down, cut it down, cut it down, cut it down. So you sort of like come down to, all right, this is the most important thing. And then if you then come down to like 25 seconds, then you could extend that too, because it depends on like what you want to shoot, what you want to have in here. There's one thing like, all right, this is what we want to say, but what do we want to film? And those things, they have to be connected with each other. No. So the length of the video is based on like the concept and the thing you want to say. And it's usually not just one video, and that's going to last for 5 years. It'd be like maybe do 3 different videos with sort of the same concept, or sometimes maybe do 26 videos, which is one every second week, and put it out there on social media. So, yeah. You don't really need to do just one video that is going to last for a long time. It's not going to work today. It might work for a while, of course. It depends on how you use it. Have it on the website. Then it could, I mean, if there's a lot of people coming into it, you can see it, then that's great. But if you one time on Facebook, it might be if you don't have a good strategy. So time of the video, and what was the question? What was I answering the question?
Yeah, I think so. That it depends a lot more on like getting the message through, and not just deciding that it must be exactly 60 seconds or 95 seconds or so yeah, trying to focus on getting the message. He's also asking about ideas on education that can lead to freelance job with video.
Can you say again?
He's asking for ideas on education that can lead to freelance job with video filmmaking.
All right. So,
you know, a specific school or something, or is it just learn everything online? Or
I haven't really. I'm self-taught. Like years ago, I didn't know anything about video. So going to school, I think that's one of the things to pass on to other people. That's something that I would do, or I can do it now as well. I would have actually paid a bit more to go and see someone that is good in your field, and sit down with them and try to go through some stuff. If you're not good at correcting a grade, and maybe pay a bit amount of money to go there and try to learn, which I haven't done that much. I still pull it off tape, not great. But that's something that I would suggest. Then I've just watched a lot of YouTube videos. I've just Googled around, searched, looked at many videos. But I don't really have like specific, or go to this school.com or something like that. That's the top of my head. I don't have too many on like where you should actually go. Let me think if there's anything.
I don't know either, because I have like the same start as you had.
Yeah.
I just practiced like, or I had an internship where I was working with video, and then I got tired after that, and then I basically just learned along the way, like watching YouTube videos and LinkedIn Learning and Linda and stuff like that. So I think just learning by doing is, for video editing, is a good way to go. It's not the only way. Of course, you can go to school, but like it's nothing that's stopping you from learning it from home either. So there's so much good content out there to learn. Can you still hear me, by the way? Because now I can't hear you right now. Now, maybe. Do you hear me? You're still muted for some reason. Okay, that's strange because I didn't press any buttons or anything. Do you have microphone on the headphones, and is those connected? Or maybe it's something on my side. Let's see. I'm just gonna disconnect and connect again. No. Okay, I'm turning on the headphones again. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Connect. Now, I think. Can you hear me? So apparently there's no live or no sound from you. So can you guys watching, can you hear my voice? Norwegian restart, what's that? Okay, Wi-Fi. If I turn off the audio and then turn it on again, let's see. Still not working? No? Okay. I'm just trying to click every button that I can find, basically. Mute. Johan should restart, should work. Yeah, that might be an option. If I hang up and invite you again, maybe. We have some audio problems, so I'm trying to find a solution for it. Okay, so now I'm trying to invite Johan again. Sending an email to him now. So let's see if this works.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Now.
Wow.
Now it seems to work.
Are we back? This is really strange because I just turned off my headphones right here on the side.
Yeah.
And then my computer just shut down totally, restarted itself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Ridiculous. So yeah.
So that's why you left live, because it just shut down.
I left the building. And yeah. Sorry. God, I don't know what happened.
Well, at least it's working now.
Okay, good. I hope it didn't lose too many people.
That's how you learn new stuff, right? When you have difficulties.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so where were we?
Yeah, we had a question there about like education and things like that. Where do you learn stuff?
Yeah.
But I think my main tip there is look at a lot of reference videos. I would say that was my way. It could be different for, of course, different for everybody. I mean, the same with working out. If you hate going to the gym, then don't go there. It's not your. It might not be your thing. Maybe you should go swimming instead. I mean, do that. Just try different things to see what works best for you. But looking at reference videos has helped me a lot to try to see, all right, I really like that style. How can I work with that? What do I need to make that kind of feeling and look to it? That's my suggestion.
Yeah, that's good advice. That's something that I feel that I want to do more. A lot of times I'm watching tutorials and I'm learning new stuff, but it feels like sometimes that I'm losing the direction. Like, well, now I'm learning something and I'm going this direction, and then I'm learning something over here. Like, I don't know, where do I want to end up? How do I want my videos to actually look?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess it comes to you after a while, I think. And I think I've sort of found my style. It's hard to say exactly what style it is, but yeah. And that's something actually I do, which is another tip if you're a filmmaker, photographer. It's like a lot of people, when someone posts like, is there anyone who knows a photographer? And then you're trying to sell your product like that, like just saying, yeah, I've been doing this for a very long time, and look at this and blah blah blah. You're trying to convince the client at the first stage. But what I'm doing is the same kind of thing that I'm doing as like me being myself in my business, to try to be a little bit more low key and let the material just breathe. So I usually sometimes just send the link to my portfolio, and then I just say, here's some of my work. If you like the style and the feel to it, you can just contact me at the start. So it's not like you have to, because maybe not every project is for you. So then it might be like, if that's the case, that they like the style and the feel to it, then that's going to be a great project for you. So you don't need to go out there and just try to like choose me, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to be with my social media and stuff like that. I try to be a little bit low key. Because I was thinking about doing vlogs, but I was like, no, it takes too much time, and I just don't really feel like it. I don't really feel like it. It's something says no. So don't just do stuff because you think you have to, and don't try to find your style. That's all it is.
Yeah, I think that goes into the sales part that we were talking about a little bit, that it's still like important to be able to set a price on the things that you do and to sell your services. But also it's about helping the customer finding the product that the customer wants. So if the customer if your product is not the right fit for the customers, there's no point in convincing them to hire you. Maybe it's not a good match, or maybe it's a better investment of time to actually work with a client that like your kind of stuff, and that you feel that you can connect with, and thinking about it the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's also something that is, it could, I'm trying to, and I think everybody should do that. If they feel like, if they feel like um, this is my style, and this is what I mean, you shouldn't just go like, all right, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it my style, otherwise you're out. I mean, of course you can adjust and you can adapt. Yeah, you can adapt to what they want to portray or what they want to say. Of course, you can come down to that. But talking about budget, I have almost stopped. I put a price on it, but then if they say like, oh, we have to go below half of that, then I'm just gonna be a little bit like, all right, then this is what you can get for that. But I'm not gonna do a big. I'm not gonna do the first kind of video for that. How do you say it? It's more. I just want to say that you can't. You shouldn't.
I think
Yeah.
it's a lot about changing the product depending on the price, and not just always focusing on the price. And I think if it's too expensive for them, maybe you can suggest to do a little bit more, or like make a trailer of the video that you just did, like putting in some extra work into it instead of lowering the price. Or the opposite, like if they want to pay less, you can do a more shorter or simple version of it.
Yeah, that's good. Now it came back to me. But if you come up with a concept, and I really feel like this is what you need. I mean, you need to use a drone. I mean, that's gonna help you so much. It's gonna show your business so much better. And you might need this, and you might need those things. So you might need three things that are super important. So let's say that they want to go down in price. Then in one way we could cut two of them. So we're just working with the drone. That's it. But then if you cut those two, it's not going to be as good video as we would like it to be. So then I rather not do it, because I'm just going to see that there's going to be a video that is just going to be 30% good. I want it to be at least 90% good. So then I might not do the video, or I just try to convince them that, or either you pay this and we can do this, because I think you really need that. So it's basically like you want to do a good video or a okay video. So if the okay video is good, then of course sometimes you could do it, but I'd rather try to do the best video I can for what they can. Yeah, I think you understand.
Yeah, and I think that if
Dare to say no in some way.
right, if I understand you right, it's better to like maybe make fewer videos that you can go like all in, or do the way you want it to do, instead of like compromising and like producing a lot of videos but very simple and fast and yeah.
Exactly. Try to go back a couple of steps then and say like, all right, now this is what we have to work with. Can we come up with something else, or do we really need this? Then maybe you need to put in those extra money to be able to do this. But yeah, but I think dare to say no sometimes to projects, because if you just keep saying yes to projects and you don't get paid what you want, then you're just gonna get stuck there. You're just gonna be there, and that's not gonna help you in the long run. So dare to say no sometimes, even if that sucks. I did that to two companies here actually. It's just, I mean, they would probably make a lot of profit on doing this video or selling their product, and I wouldn't get paid much at all, and that just didn't feel fair. So I was like, all right, well then go with that other person that could do it more cheap, because I value my time. Instead, I can take those without being egoistic, you know. Then I can just use those 15 extra hours to get maybe another client or work on something that I feel like this is going to help my business forward in another way.
Mm.
Time is valuable.
Is that like the way that how you are saying it to the client as well? That it's better to go with the other person if you feel like, or you can say it in your own words. Like how do you like say no to a client basically?
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen often in face to face, actually, because usually then I have talked to them. I've tried to get an understanding of them. I've been to maybe a first or a second meeting, and usually when I come to that point, I just feel like, yeah, I'm gonna get this job. And it's not sort of a hunt, you know. It just comes because I'm open, and I'm trying to listen to ideas, and I try to help out and come up with stuff. But I had one client. I hope it's not too noisy now. It's a lot of people coming. But I had a client. There was a client who posted on LinkedIn saying like, "Do we have any filmmakers that could help a client of mine?" And there were about 30 or 40 filmmakers who applied for that job. And I went to a meeting with them, so I just sat down, had a meeting. By the way, don't sit down all the time. Try to go for a walking meeting or something from time to time. It's always nice. But yeah, we're sitting down there having that first meeting. And after that, they wanted me to make some sort of storyboard, some sort of concept to it. And I was fine with that because it was like a lot of people there, and it just felt like a cool company. So I made that storyboard or concept, not storyboard, but concept, like mood board, reference videos and reference photos and stuff like that, to be able to see the feel and touch to it. And I was selected. I was selected to be the one who was going to do the videos for that company. Nice. And then when it came down, to the price, this was 4 years ago. And then when it came down to the price, they thought it would be about 10% of the price I put out. So then, I mean, in one way, that was much easier to say no to, because I mean, this is not going to hold up. But if I write it to the client, I just say, "That's a good question. How do I say it?"
Like what's the argument? Do you say that it costs more, or it takes more time than you think, or I really want to make it at that certain level, or like what are the arguments?
Usually it doesn't hold up. Like looking at, I have 3 steps, like project management, filming, like production, and post-production. So looking at those 3 different things, I just try to explain like, all right, this is how much money I'm gonna, this is how much time I'm gonna put into this at the first stage. So I'm charging for coming up with ideas and sitting down and trying to come up with concepts. That's something I didn't charge for before, until a friend of mine said, like, "You have some pretty good ideas. You should charge for that. Why don't you do that?" And I was like, shit, yeah, maybe I should. So I just tried to show them more or less that, all right, this is the time I'm going to put into it. This is what this is going to cost. And it doesn't hold up for me based on what your argument. It's a good question. I'm not really sure. I just try to be open with it. And definitely not being how do you say it, rude or anything. Definitely not. I'm just trying to be like, or you can just listen to what they're saying, and then you can say like, well, that was not quite what I expected, but I understand your situation, and for that it's not going to be possible for me. So I really hope that you can, and then you can maybe help the clients. You know, I mean, if I can't have take a job, then I can send it to someone else, or I try. That's what I do now when I'm here in Spain. And I've if there's a job back home, I have some contacts that can help me to film something, and then they can send me the material and I can edit that. So maybe try to help the client. If it wasn't like the example I said there, that they thought the budget was 10%. That was just a joke. To me, that was a joke. That was sort of an insult that you had no idea about the pricing, which they probably had. I mean, that was crazy. So then I just said, like, then I don't even feel like I want to help you. It depends on who they are.
Yeah, so basically we can say that it's more about instead of just saying yes or no, first you can think about how you can either adjust the price or adjust the final product, or how you can help the customer finding another person or company that can do it, that a better suit for them, or the better fit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I want to hear more about your life in the van, because you're freelancing and you're driving around and working and living in your van. So I'm just curious to hear, like, how does your day look, and how do you, like, what things have you left at home that you couldn't bring? Because of course it's it's difference having a apartment and like Wi-Fi, and you have a kitchen and you have a toilet and all of that stuff, and then having everything in the car. So, tell us a little bit about
that. So first of all, I left Sweden on the 8th of January 8th, and then it took about 2 weeks to come down to Spain. That was my not my main goal, but I want to be around the coast here, and one of the things was definitely to escape Swedish winter, because it's just I'm not experiencing it back home in the way you would want to. You would want to be higher up in Sweden if you're going to enjoy it much more. Even if it's colder, it's more beautiful, and I think you have more stuff to do. So, when I came down here during the way, during the drive down, I was more alone than I am now. So on the way down, I think it was about 4 or 5 days that I was alone. That has been the maximum, because I haven't only been on the road for 1.5 months, so it hasn't been that much. But I've slept in the van for about 75% of the time. But I have friends in Alicante, I have friends in Malaga, and I have people that I can stay with, which has also been good. But the interesting thing is that when I've been there like 1 or 2 days, it just feels like I want to get out in the van again. So I have had the chance to take a shower, not every day, but I have been fortunate enough to have those friends that I could go to.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have that, I don't think it would have been a problem either. Because in one way, I'm not saying that the military has helped me with that, but I'm not afraid of taking like a cold shower. That's not a problem. And I think that just helps you to waken up in a better way as well. You know, taking a cold shower, you probably heard of those things. That works, no problem. Just taking a shower by the beach, that's fine. And doing number 1 and number 2. Is that an English expression, or is it?
I don't know.
All right. Going to the bathroom. Going to the bathroom. I have I have a tiny bathroom that is about like a little bit higher than a normal laptop, the size of a laptop, sort of. So I'm just using that. There's, I'm not afraid of little dirt on my fingernails, you know. So I just go with that one, and then of course making food. I'm not like super expert, but I would like to be better at making food. I have that as an ambition. So hopefully I'm gonna learn a bit more during these upcoming months as well. But life in the van, I don't work a lot right now since I left. I think I work around maybe two hours a day, which sounds maybe crazy. Uh, but I have developed a couple of contacts down here. I've done two assignments, which one was doing photography, and one was doing a video shoot for an event. But then I have actually already gotten from back home uh, 4 projects, which means that for example, I'm gonna fly home on April 15th and go back on April 25th. Just during that 1.5 to 2 weeks, I'm gonna film for 4 days, and that makes a good amount of money, which is gonna cover like two months down here, because I've cut my costs back home, of course. And I have insurances. I have all my camera gear. I have all those. I have expenses still, definitely. But I have already gotten jobs back home, which have basically covered 3 months already, which makes me just feel, of course, calm, because that's one way when you're a freelancer. No matter what you're doing, that could always cause a little bit of stress if you don't get a job. So here, coming down now, it feels much more, feels great. I can send a couple of emails to different clients. I can try to meet up, go to co-working spaces. So it's all about like the starting phase of building connection. And that's not super easy, but it's easier when you have these contacts, like I have there in Alicante and Malaga, for example. Then they bring me to different places, and they give me tips and tricks on whom to meet up with and what Facebook pages you can post in and stuff like that. So I'm not working that much, but I'm trying to do other things as well. For example, today I was just sitting for about 2 hours thinking about how I'm gonna make money by just saving money every month, by investing them in maybe not companies, but just how do you say aktier? I lost the word.
Stocks.
Yeah. So just putting your money, instead of having them just in a bank account, it's not gonna do anything there. But the bank is just gonna take your money. So I'm just gonna think about how I'm gonna put that have that my money going in different ways, and try to not be rich, but definitely trying to save money in a smart way. The upcoming like 25 to 35, 40 years. I'm not going to look at those money. I'm just going to put it there, and then they're going to work by themselves. So that is one private project that I haven't done, which I can now, because I have much more time to do that. And then I can work with other like problems that I have, because we all have problems, and I have something that I really want to work on, which I'm not going to tell you, but that gives me time to do that. So I'm going to be okay with that. I'm going to try to accept that I have this time now, and I'm going to make the most of that, which is quite fantastic. But I know a lot of people back home that have families and kids and everything, and they're not able to do these things. So in one way, I'm thinking like, they probably hate me, but if they're real friends, of course, they're just gonna enjoy that I have this time, and hopefully I can share something with them, because I care about them.
Yeah.
So life in a van is it's fun to go to different places, see nice views, wake up to birds, water, sand. Yeah, I really like it. And
Yeah.
hopefully I'm gonna go to Portugal there because I'm developing a contact there, which we're gonna make a film production for like a yoga retreat place, which is gonna be super fun.
Nice. So are you like planning to continue to travel around, or are you going back to Sweden?
Yeah, so I'm flying home there in April, but then I'll probably go back for a couple of weeks. But I'm definitely going to be back somewhere end of May, beginning of June, somewhere there. So I think I'm going to be down here during my birthday, and then heading back home. And I think it would be fantastic if someone would join me, like maybe flying down, and then joining me on the way back, and we can see some stuff, because I'm probably gonna go to Switzerland and Germany and France there a little bit as well. So, yeah.
Like next year, and are you still driving around? Or
Next year?
Sweden,
Next year? I'm just gonna pass on that because I don't know. Anything can happen.
Right.
I might have a family. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
So,
you never know.
I think I'm just gonna be open when it comes to that, because I'm in a place where I just feel like I'm gonna try to let things come to me, and I'm not gonna plan, because I feel like I've planned all my life, I've planned so much, and I just want to try to go from here to here. I just feel like I'm totally messed up in my head from time to time, so I just want to try to see things can come to me instead of me trying to fix them.
Yeah.
That feels quite good.
So you're feeling free.
I'm feeling free, but I mean, sometimes I can feel, lonely, definitely. And now I haven't felt that lonely, but I mean, in one way, you feel like you want to share stuff. You want to share stuff with someone. But I'm feeling okay, but there are some issues that I feel like I wanna come over, definitely. So I'm not like, woohoo, look at me, boom, boom, boom. But I'm good. I really like it. It's much better in one way than back home. Not just because of winter, because I was in a state where I just felt like I didn't come in. There was nothing new. Oh, sorry. My power cord. And I just felt like I sort of did the same kind of thing over and over again. So now, instead of filming like an event back home, filming an event here, something new, something extra, images. I usually say that, which might be naive. I don't know. Of course, you can make fantastic videos and photos in Sweden, but like taking photos and filming here and putting some nice touch to it, it feels so much easier as well. So I'm really thankful and happy for the cool environment. Because everything that people from abroad, they love moose in Sweden, but I mean, we love the tiger in Asia. If we go there and see that, so it's the same kind of thing. Just going to different places, new places, just makes you happy, makes you all kind of different emotions, which are positive. And you grow as a person. Without thinking about it, you grow.
Yeah, that's what I love about traveling, because you never know what's going to happen, and there's so many things that you like for the first time, I always love when I get to a new city and I get to take a walk in the city for the first time, and I know everything I see now the first time in my life. And that's a great feeling.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I know that feeling too, and especially like when if you come to a place where it's like, wow, this is unique. This is, I've never seen this before. And I don't know about you. Are you a lot of into like culture and history? Because I feel like I would love to be that, but like when someone tells me like, all right, this is from the 17th century, and the Romans came here, and they did this, that, and the colony here and there. It's just I'm losing it. I'm not following after a while. So it's not, maybe that's not my thing. But of course, it's interesting to see how, like, why is it like this? So I'm usually jealous when people can talk about like sort of the history of things and understanding of why people are the way they are. And I don't know. Are you like that? No, I'm turning it. My first question to you. Sorry.
I'm basically the same as you, actually. I want to like learn the history and like the background behind it and all that, but it feels like sometimes it's not getting stuck in my head. I think I enjoy more the like visual part of it, like how it looks, and it's just easier to like process that information, like what you see, instead of when you're hearing a lot of history and maybe you don't have anything to like attach it to.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
and I mean that is okay. I mean, we are okay. We can't be good at everything. So lesson learned for me the last year has definitely been not to be too hard on yourself. I mean, 2 days ago I just looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, shit, this looks really good on me. Shit, I look good. And I mean, that's not normally something I would say, but I'm trying to be more kind, more nice to myself, and that's just gonna help you so much more, because you're always gonna compare yourself so much to other people, and I know that there are so many other people that are 10 times better than I am when it comes to making videos, and I blame myself so many times, but I've come to a state where I'm not going to be happy about doing that. See that as inspiration and try to turn that into something, and go out and try it. Try, if you want to go move closer to that thing, try to go out there and learn it, but see it as it takes some time. And that's something that can be tough. You really want something to happen like this, super fast. You want to see results. That's like the Western world in a way. You just wanna, everything has to happen now. If you have to wait for, you even have to wait for a hamburger in the microwave, you're fed up. You're like, come on, take it easy. You're not gonna die, hopefully.
Yeah, I started to think when you said about that thing with the mirror, that it's fascinating, like how much you how do you say påverkar in English?
Affect.
How much it affects you, both what you're saying but also what you're thinking, and that's something that I noticed just a couple of years ago, like how much I changed when I had like negative thoughts about myself in my head. Like when I started to realize if I just stop them and like replace them with positive thoughts, it changed so much how I act to other people and how I act to myself and how I feel. So
it's quite fantastic.
Be observant, is that a word?
Yeah, absolutely.
Being observant of your thoughts, like what are you actually thinking? and it affects you more than you think.
Yeah. No, but it's just like Hans Rosling and those kind of things. It's just amazing. Because when you think that shit, should I go into this water? There might be a crocodile, but the chance of there being a crocodile, I mean, of course, it depends on where you are, but the chance of something happening is just so low. So low. So just go for those other 99.9%. Have a swim. And if you die, you've tried something.
Yeah.
But that's nice. Nice that you're doing it yourself. Just pass it forward.
Yeah.
Like all that positive energy. I've had it since 2010, or since I started studying. I think that was just fantastic. It was just such a good, nice vibe, and people just like cheering on to each other. Like, all right, you're good at this, you're good at that, and you were one thing. Now I'm just talking so much, but what I did when I started studying was a personal leadership development. Personal leadership development document, where I just try to figure out like, who am I? What do I like? What do I want in a job? Where do I see myself in a few years and stuff like that. So that was super fantastic, and it's really, really powerful to sometimes ask friends around you or people that know you what characterizes you, and if you've changed or what has happened. Those things can help you in so many ways as well. Because it feels like there's a whole process of just finding yourself, but that also takes it can take a long time. But I mean, you're not gonna work the same job for 40 years. That was way back. You can just do a little bit of testing there, a little bit of testing here, and you're probably just gonna figure it out eventually.
Yeah, and also like, what's the rush? Like, when is the time in your life that you need to have everything out?
Yeah.
Like, I see it as like a lifelong process.
Yeah.
If you are 85 years old and you learn something new about yourself, well, that's great.
Yeah.
Maybe you're going to live to your 95, so then you have 10 more years where you know more about yourself. So
exactly. No, but it's the same thing with you're talking about the age, or what's the rush, and what I've heard is the rush is the thought of dying. That's the thing. Because life is like from 0 to 100 years. If you become 100 years, which would be amazing. But that's the thing that makes us want to do so much, and we need to push everything. We need to do so much stuff to do it before we die. All those bucket lists and stuff like that. You need to do those pretty soon to get to, because your body is just gonna vanish after 50 years old. But it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think like if there is anything else that I want to ask you before we round up this slide. It's amazing that it's still people watching after like almost 2 hours.
It is. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't
like
have it
5
all.
people.
It's what?
It's 5 people, I think.
Oh, nice. If you hear me now, I would love if you can just write to me, because I haven't seen this comment field, so I don't really know who's been there except my mom. She'll send me some print screens. It would be fun if you write to me like, yeah, I watched it. That would be fun.
Yeah. So write in the chat, guys. I was thinking about something. Have you ever? This is like a
$1 million question.
But yeah, have you ever had a coffee at the coffee shop Johan and Nyström?
Oh yes, I got it for free.
Nice.
It's true. It's true. It's hilarious. It's free. It's free. It's free marketing for me in one way, but of course it's more marketing for them. They're much bigger.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that we have this sort of similar email address, which is fantastic, which sucks for me in a way because I've gotten at least 50 emails. I need to change this coffee roast machine, or we need to order more order more beans.
Yeah.
So I've gotten emails like that, and I've forwarded every single email to them instead of just throwing it
That's
away.
amazing.
So I forwarded everything, and then they said, "Thank you so much for forwarding those emails. Otherwise, we would never have been able to taking care of them." And the only thing I said was, "No worries. When do I get my coffee?" So they sent me 3 like different coffee tastes. So I got them on and now I've actually tried to send to them like, all right, I need some coffee in my van. Why not make this a thing? You know, Johan Nyström. Why not make a collaboration around this? I'm still waiting for their reply. Pretty funny.
So you basically have coffee with your name on it.
Exactly.
I want that too.
David Lindgren is the singer, you know, the guy in Melody Festival. He's good though. He's good.
I actually got some mails like a couple of years ago, like, "Oh, I listened to you yesterday. You were so good." I'm like, "Okay, thank you."
Nice one. Nice.
At least it's positive things.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. You don't wanna be compared with something Trumpish or something.
Yeah. Or like a serial killer or something.
Yeah. Have you seen that photo of Donald Trump wearing a Pippi LångsTrump? So it's in Swedish. In Swedish, it's Pippi LångsTrump. So they made a fun photo.
Pippi LångsTrump.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah. All right. God, I'm so happy. This feels great talking to you.
Yeah. Nice. So, a last question for you then. Do you, because you're freelancing, and do you have any advice for people that want to start freelancing? For example, like, how do you start to, you talked about it a little bit before, to find customers. Like how do you find your first customers, and if you have any ideas around that on how you can make money on creating content like videos?
So it's focused a bit on being a freelance filmmaker, or is it a freelancer? I mean, whatever.
More freelance filmmaker, I think.
So how you can reach out and how you can get some clients.
Yeah, like get the ball rolling, get started.
Yeah. Definitely network. Like I said in the beginning now, I think network is extremely important. Some people are more extrovert and outgoing than others, which I've had the fortune to have, and I've been in the sales before, so that really helps. I think it could be good in the beginning. Definitely, just do some stuff for free if you have that possibility. And I think that doing something besides the thing you're doing today. If you have another job, then you can easily spend, like during the weekend. If you take 2-3 hours during the weekend, you could put put time to maybe go out and shoot something, or try to learn a bit more about photography or the thing you feel like you want to do. Take that time, and I mean, putting up a website is probably basic stuff. I mean, you should definitely put something up there, because I mean, if you're doing video, photo, it needs to be there. It needs to be seen. Otherwise, why would you even try to connect with someone? And just believe that, all right, this is someone that has done something. I mean, you always want to look at, you know, TripAdvisor. If you go to a hotel, you just want to see that things are okay. So try to build up that, and if you've done a couple of jobs, why not ask clients? That's what I've done. If you go to my LinkedIn profile, I think there are about 25 reviews. I think I could have it around 50. I think 25 is okay. But try to go there as well, because people might go there and just like, is this a good guy? Is this a good girl? Yeah, it sounds weird. Good guy and girl. Is this a good person? You know. So they're probably going to go into different media. So make sure you can ask the client if they're happy with it. Why not just ask them? Could you go in, like, take 5 minutes, just write a review about me? That would be fantastic. Then you have some stuff to go on. And then I mean, there's so much stuff you can do. But just be yourself. Be honest with yourself and the client. Really ask them rather ask them 100 questions than 10 questions, because it shows that you care. And that is something that clients want to hear today, that you really care, and that you put yourself into the project like you really mean that you like doing. So asking so many questions, and don't just go with the first idea, because that's what I did in the beginning. I was like, all right, what is your idea? And they said something like, yeah, we're going to do this and that. So then I was like, all right, cool, yeah. But if we don't need to talk much more about money, but just think about that. If you would say yes to that first thing, their idea, then you would have get something like, let's say, 2,000 euros. But if you question more and more and more and more, it might be that, all right, maybe you need this, and you can add on to that, and then you can have this one as well, which can be combined into maybe adding that. It's almost like sales, you know. So if you ask more questions, it's going to be more holes to fill. If that's understandable. So it shows that you care, and you're not just going to fill the holes because you feel like you have to. You're going to just milk their money. And it's just going to be like, all right, we need to täppa hålet. How do you say that? We need to, the film. We just need to fill this hole. But this is super important. So yeah, I guess that's a couple of tips on when to start. Be patient. Be patient. It was easier for me because I had the network, but I really believe in that. If you reach out to 100 different clients, you might get a response from 20, and then that might result in one job. That is something. Just try to be happy for those things, which can be really hard as well. But if you get a no, hopefully you can try to see that as that was the first try. And then you can just go back and see what worked, what didn't work. Because now when I have the first meeting, then I know what I'm going to touch. I know what questions I'm going to ask to be able to get as much information as possible to go out there feeling confident that they're going to choose me. So revise, do again. Revise, do again. Pick out those things that were successful and skip the rest.
we talk a lot about at work to challenge the customer, and I think it's kind of the same with like painting the picture or like the map, like where do you want to go, what do you need to get there, and like as you were saying, the more questions that you can ask, it's going to be more clear and obvious what they actually need and what you can help them with, and then it's going to be easier for you as well, because you have like the same expectations as the customers, and maybe even sell more because they realize that it's actually something else that they want.
Yeah, absolutely. And just talking about, like you said, having the same expectations. That could be like the first thing you do when you come to meetings. Ask them like, all right, what are your expectations on this movie? And then you tell, or if you just ask that question, you're gonna know like, shit, they want to come up with a concept today. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just by asking that question, then you can say like, all right, based on the time we have, I don't think we're gonna get there, but we can probably come up with some idea. Or you can just say like, all right, I was thinking sort of the same thing. Where should we? How do we start? What do you think is the best way to go? Or sometimes I just manage the meeting myself. I'm usually good at time management or project management. That's what I've done for quite a while. I'm a fan of efficient meetings, not wasting much time. Try to get to the core.
Yeah, there's been some great advice today. The time is running away. It's almost 2 or more than 2 hours, I think, since we started. So I think we're gonna end it here pretty soon. So I just wanted to say thank you for joining the live. It was a pleasure having you. I have put the links to where people can find you in the description. So we have your email address and your Facebook page, Instagram, and your website. So if you guys go into the website, you can actually see the places where Johan is staying and like the route that he's going. I think it's at the like bottom of the web page. You can see where you've been and where you're going next.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. I need to update it. but the only thing I need to update is where I'm at right now. So I'm in Malaga now. I'm not in Alicante. I think it still says Alicante, but I came down here a day ago, 2 days ago.
So yeah, go check out Johan's Instagram and his website. There is some really high quality stuff there. I've been watching a lot of them, so yeah, definitely check it out. So yeah, thank you so much for joining today.
Thank you so much, David. This was my first time, and it just felt like I needed like half an hour or almost an hour to get like comfortable. It's like we said in the beginning, like think about it as you're talking to a friend and try to listen as much as possible. And I did that after a while, which just felt great. So thanks for that advice as well.
Yeah, no worries. I feel the same. I still feel like I've only done this twice before, so I think I listened a little bit better now than the last time. So yeah, but it's like we said with other stuff, it's a process.
Yeah, you're doing a good job. Perfect.
Thank you. All right, so we're going to end it here. So yeah, thanks again, and I will see you soon.
Thank you. Feel free to contact me, guys, whoever's watching this, if you feel like you're up for a collab or just want to talk or meet up or whatever. There you go.
Great.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for watching and staying here for 2 hours. I really appreciate that. So I hope we brought some value to you that are watching.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, thank you all, and good night.